So even though Kirkua, Jerome, Ezekiel, Balthazar Cousins, at times, he certainly showed some flashes this year. October NFC Offensive Player of the Month. You should probably get that. I bet you Kirk would get that as a plaque and put it up in his man cave. I mean, sure. Also, Kirk Cousins helped the Vikings win a playoff game on the strength of his right arm in overtime. Those are two dimes, one to Thielen and then one to Rudy in the corner on third down. Nails. So is the 32-year-old quarterback the future? You need to be ready if he isn't, and that's why the Vikings need to be drafting a quarterback this year, even if Cousins is the man, even if he is or is not. So it's whatever. Frankly, we've used this example ad nauseum, so it's almost like a cliche at this point, but you look how New England always tried to replace Brady. Like, it was Ryan Mallett back in the day. It was Brian Hoyer before, but I think he was a UDFA. Ryan Mallett in the third, didn't work out. Jimmy Garoppolo in the second, that raised an eyebrow. Didn't work out. Well, actually, it did work out because they traded him for a haul to San Francisco. Jacoby Brissett in the fourth round, and they traded him to Indianapolis. And the entire time, you had the greatest quarterback of all time, still in his prime. Yeah, you were trying to replace Tom Brady. Yeah, even so much that there were sometimes quarterback controversies. Oh, is Garoppolo, should he be in over Tom Brady? Spare me. So you're telling me that Tom Brady in his prime is perfectly fine to draft quarterbacks to replace him, but you can't take a third or fourth round pick with Kirk Cousins because it'll hurt his ego. No. Or you have to build around him. Don't you think the Patriots should have built around Brady? You don't think that third, second, fourth round picks could have gone to receivers or offensive line or defense, one of the three? Yeah, so it is a balance of playing for the now and then playing for the soon beyond now, right? And frankly, I mean, we saw that Kirk Cousins, him pissed off Kirk, media doubting him, he loves it. I mean, he plays better when people hate on Kirk. I think that hate fuels him. And who would better know a quarterback coming in behind you to try and steal your job than Kirk Cousins? Because remember, when Washington traded up all the loot to get RG3 at number 2 in 2012, Kirk Cousins was that fourth round pick. And by the way, he was the second pick after RG3, because I believe they gave up their second round pick. I think they spent their third round pick on an offensive lineman. Fourth round was Kirk Cousins. So 2 draft picks after moving all your chips in the middle, the Shanahans, the geniuses, to get RG3. 2 picks later, you take another quarterback. So Kirk Cousins, he certainly knows how that game is played. And also, he stole RG3's job because RG3 was bad. RG3 didn't bring it. RG3 had some injury issues as well. So Kirk Cousins, he knows the game. It's like, hey, if I don't perform, don't care how much I'm making, that guy's going to take my job, especially since I'm out of contract next year. Like, otherwise, what's the plan? And also, Kirk, he didn't talk about contract extension now, which has Kirk earned a contract extension? We talked about it last week. Maybe, but also Kirk is going to try and wring out every single possible nickel out of this next deal with the new CBA. So do you want to pay that price, or does Kirk want to stay here? Does he want to go cash in somewhere else? He's like the Borg, just like leeches, going to a different team, sucking up all the money. Is it going to be that? And say he does. Say he does leave free agency, goes to another team, or the Vikings decide not to have him. So you're going to be caught flat-footed. So what's the plan? Jake Browning? Is Jake Browning going to be your future quarterback? You're going to go into free agency and sign another retread. So it's like, oh, the Brad Johnsons, the Gus Frerots, oh, the Brett Favres, even though Brett Favre sort of worked out, oh, the Kelly Holcombs of the world. I'm trying to think. What other retreads do we have? Oh, the Jim McMahons. That one work out? Sean Salisbury? Or was he a rookie here? Really doesn't matter. All right. So the Vikings in recent memory have not done well with homegrown quarterbacks, whether bad luck with Teddy, whether it be bad picks with Christian Ponder. So what is the plan? We're just going to go with a rookie? Just going to sign whoever? Or are you going to play Jake Browning? Is that the plan? No, I think the Vikings should certainly plan ahead. Now, looking at this year's crop, I haven't done a deep dive on the quarterbacks yet, but say Tua Tagovailoa. Say that hip is fine, but he starts dropping because teams are a little bit scared. Say he drops into the teens. Vikings sitting there chilling, drafting in the 20s now. I don't have the number off the top of my head. Do they just go, yoink, 1 and a 1 and a 2? Tua, sit behind Kirk, see what happens next year, da-da-da? Or do they spend their late first-round pick or second-round pick on a guy like Jalen Hurts from Oklahoma, who I still have questions about him being an NFL quarterback? Although you do love the upside, you love the athleticism. Jordan Love from Utah State, I feel like he sort of had a meh final season. But again, you're betting on the upside. Same with Bryce Perkins from Virginia or Cole McDonald from Hawaii. All big talents, all big arms, all that stuff. So you're going to take a shot on a mid-round quarterback? Or you're going to go all the way up for Tua? Or maybe Justin Herbert falls. You're going to go all in on that? Maybe. Although it would be against type for Rick Spielman. Although, in fairness, drafting interior offensive lineman in the first round was against type for Rick Spielman as well. But Spielman, since he came in in 06, but again, that was with like the triangle of authority coming in. But he hasn't drafted a quarterback in the mid-round. It hasn't really been his thing. Because since 2009, when Spielman started taking over as GM, Spielman has drafted 0 quarterbacks outside the first round. Like 0. None. Before that, it was like John David Booty in the 5th. It was like there was a 7th round pick in there somewhere. It was like T-Jack in the 2nd, all that stuff in 2006, blah, blah, blah. But it was Ponder in the first round in 2011. It was Teddy in the first round in 2014. So the rest of the way, the infusion of talent from the way that you infuse your roster with talent, the NFL draft, has been relying on UDFAs, Mitch Leidner, Joel Stave, Jake Browning, Kyle Jerome, Ezekiel Sluter, even though they didn't give him the time of day, right? So 1 out of 4 ain't bad, even though you let him go to the Lions, and he's going to make your ass pay, by the way, next year. So it's like, whatever. So, yeah, those have been misses. Those have been not been great. So now, investing a first or second or third round pick in a quarterback, you're hedging for the future. And look, what's the worst case scenario? You have a young developmental quarterback behind Kirk Cousins that you wouldn't mind if Kirk left, or if Kirk, knock on wood, got injured or alien abduction, that you wouldn't mind putting in. Because like other than that, what's the plan if Kirk leaves? Like Jake Browning? He's not the answer. But that's our case for why the Vikings should be drafting a quarterback day 1, day 2 this year. We'll see if it happens. I'm sure we'll be talking about this before April, a time or two. But your thoughts, Vikings drafting a quarterback, let us know in the comment section below. Also, subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You want to support the work, follow us on the Venmo. Plus, give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skol, production value.